Most men don't lose because the world is unfair. They lose because they are predictable. Machiavelli wrote that power doesn't go to the most virtuous, it goes to the most capable. And that's the uncomfortable truth weak men spend their entire lives avoiding. Because weakness isn't about money. It isn't about looks. It isn't even about status. Weakness is about lack of control. Control over your emotions. Control over your habits. Control over how others perceive you. And in every hierarchy, corporate, social, dating, business, even friendships, the man without control sinks to the bottom. Not by accident, by design. Weak men are ruled by comfort. They wake up when they feel like it. They work only when they're motivated. They speak without thinking. They quit when things become difficult. Machiavelli warned that a ruler who depends on comfort becomes dependent on others. And the moment you depend on others for discipline, you stop being a player in the game. You become a piece on the board. That's why weak men are always managed, always instructed, always waiting for permission. Because they never built the one thing power respects: self-command. Strong men understand something weak men never learn. You are not judged by your intentions. You are judged by your results and your reputation. Machiavelli said, "It is not necessary to be good. It is necessary to appear good." Perception is power. Weak men say, "People should see my heart." Strong men ask, "What do people see when I walk into a room?" Your posture, your voice, your body, your competence, your network. These speak long before you do. And if your presence communicates uncertainty, hesitation, and neediness, you don't have to be pushed down. You place yourself there. Weak men are addicted to approval. They want to be liked. They avoid conflict. They say yes when they mean no. Machiavelli made it clear. If you cannot be both loved and feared, it is safer to be feared than loved. Why? Because love depends on others. Respect depends on you. Weak men trade respect for temporary acceptance. They laugh when they're disrespected. They tolerate what they should walk away from. They stay in environments where they are clearly not valued. And then they wonder why no one takes them seriously. You teach people how to treat you. Every single day. Another reason weak men stay at the bottom. They talk more than they build. They announce plans. They debate endlessly. They argue online. Machiavelli praised the fox and the lion. The lion has strength. The fox has strategy. Weak men are neither. They are loud but ineffective, busy but unproductive, opinionated but irrelevant. Power does not respond to noise. Power responds to execution. The man who quietly improves his body, his skills, his finances, and his network becomes dangerous without saying a word, and that is the man who rises. Weak men are controlled by emotion. They react instantly. They get offended easily. They seek revenge over small things. They crumble under pressure. Machiavelli admired men who stayed cold in chaos. Because the emotional man can always be manipulated. If I can make you angry, I control you. If I can make you desperate, I control you. If I can make you jealous, I control you. And weak men live in a permanent state of reaction. They don't choose their moves. Their feelings choose for them. Which means someone else is always writing their story. Another brutal truth. Weak men avoid competence. They want status without skill. Money without mastery. Respect without achievement. But Machiavelli respected one quality above all. Take the ability to shape your own fate through strength, intelligence, and action. Not luck, not excuses, not potential. Ability. Every hierarchy, the competent man becomes valuable, and the valuable man becomes powerful. The weak man stays replaceable, and replaceable men stay at the bottom. Weak men also misunderstand loyalty. They give it blindly. 2 companies that would replace them tomorrow. 2 friends who don't respect them. 2 relationships where they are clearly undervalued. Machiavelli warned that blind loyalty without power makes you a servant, not an ally. Strong men don't beg for a seat at the table. They become the man the table needs, and suddenly, everyone is loyal to them. Let's go deeper. Weak men live in fantasy timelines. One day, I'll start working out. One day, I'll build that business. One day, I'll become confident. But Machiavelli understood something most men never accept. Fortune favors the bold and the prepared. Time is a weapon. Every day you delay, someone else is training, learning, building, positioning, and when opportunity comes, it doesn't go to the most deserving, it goes to the most ready. That's why weak men watch strong men win and call it luck, because they never see the preparation. Here's the harshest truth. Weak men want to be saved, by motivation, by women, by a mentor, by the right opportunity. Strong men save themselves. They don't wait for confidence. They act and let confidence catch up. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They create leverage in imperfect ones. They don't need external validation. They build internal standards, and that makes them immune to the forces that keep others small. So why do weak men stay at the bottom? Because the bottom is comfortable. No responsibility, no expectations, no pressure. You can blame the system, blame your past, blame your circumstances. The moment you rise, you lose those excuses. And many men are more afraid of responsibility than they are of failure. so they choose the bottom and call it bad luck. Machiavelli never promised fairness. He promised reality. In reality, the disciplined man outruns the talented man. The strategic man outmaneuvers the emotional man. The competent man replaces the popular man. Power flows toward strength, not complaints. But here's the part most people won't tell you. Weakness is not permanent. It is a pattern, and patterns can be broken. The moment a man controls his body, sharpens his mind, builds his skills, guards his reputation, speaks less and executes more, stops seeking approval, becomes comfortable with discomfort, he stops being easy to ignore, and the hierarchy starts to shift. Not because the world became nicer, but because he became dangerous to underestimate. So if you're at the bottom, the question is not, why is the world against me? The real question is, what am I doing that makes it easy for the world to place me here? Because Machiavelli's ultimate lesson was this: power is never given. It is taken by the man who has prepared himself to hold it. Weak men wait to be chosen. Strong men become impossible to overlook, and that is why one stays at the bottom of the totem pole, while the other climbs